All right, all right. We are live. Welcome back to Talking Nerds. I really need to. You probably can't hear my soundboard right now. For some reason, I think it's so recently Discord did an update and they added a soundboard, a native soundboard to the Discord app. So ever since then, I think my soundboard hasn't been going through, which doesn't make sense at all because I'm pretty sure you guys could hear you could hear other stuff. So I think it's specifically that for some reason. So I got to figure that out. But anyways, it's going off. So I got to get my setup a little better. I can't see it over my mic here. So we're having issues already. Well, welcome
Just
back.
have to hire a producer.
Yeah, right. I'll have to have Tyler do it on his end then.
Right.
Welcome back to Talking Nerds. I'm not even gonna explain where everybody is. We just see every week.
This is who you get today.
Yeah, every week somebody's gone. So, yeah. Oh well, it's fine. I think Zach's joining here, but I can't guarantee anything. But it's June 1st. You know what that means? You thought I was gonna say
Happy
Pride Month.
Pride.
No. Actually, it's the Diablo 4 pre-order launch date is live, or launch is live now. Sadly, I'm not gonna be able to play tonight, of course, because we got the podcast here. But it's live in the U.S. for pre-orders, so tomorrow night I will be playing and streaming. So look out for that. I'm super excited. Starting the game for the third time now. Probably gonna get sick of the intro because they had it in the beta and the server slam, but super excited. I've been waiting to play this game for a while, and I have nothing else going on. So yeah.
That's probably where all our viewers are right now. They're all playing Diablo.
Yeah, they're all playing right now. Well, I know Trevor is for sure. So, but I will be playing soon. But tonight we have a very fun discussion. We're going to be talking about two of the greatest characters in fiction, Batman and Spider-Man, and ultimately, who's the better hero? So I could have worn a Batman or Spider-Man t-shirt tonight, but I decided to not, show my hand. So I went plain, but I do have a little guy up here. Might be a little hint. No. Obviously, I'm a big Batman fan, so I'm rooting for Batman, but he might not win. We will see. We will see.
It's a tough one. It's a very hard one.
It is, because if
For
I'm
sure.
being honest, I don't really know who would win. So that's kind of what we're here to discuss. So
We're here to discover for
yes,
ourselves.
we're discovering ourselves tonight, who we truly believe in. But before we get started into any discussion, I am drinking a Founders beer tonight, and it is a wacky one. It's called Four Giants and the Haze of Destiny. Not to be confused with the Dial of Destiny, the garbage that we're going to be watching soon. But yeah, so it's a hazy Imperial IPA, and this is a tall boy. It's almost 20
I was gonna
ounces.
say that's a big can.
Yeah, it's almost 20 ounces. It's about 19 ounces. So I've never seen a 19-ounce beer though. So
Like
yeah,
doing Edward 40 hands. You ever heard of that? Where you take
yeah,
2 40-ounce cans of beers? Yeah.
that's a good one. It's not cold enough though.
Nice.
What are you drinking?
You're getting your beer from Binny's, or where do you get your beer?
No, I go to a liquor store right by my work. I forget what the name is, but they always have a sign that says "We card hard," and she never bothers. It's this old Chinese lady. So,
Wow.
would you like a
That's
bag?
funny.
She always says, "Nope, thank
No.
you."
Geez. Do they have any good bourbon there?
Yeah, they have everything. That's where I sent you the picture of the. Well, I guess it was on Snapchat. You don't have it, but they have the $100, $160, or $170 Blanton's, and then they have a $100 Eagle Rare there. So
Yeah.
it's pretty
That's a
expensive.
little too much. I think the most I'd pay for a bottle of Eagle Rare is maybe 60 or 70, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe 70 just because it's so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
but
anyways,
they have them in these glass case, so those are like their premium ones, obviously. But
yeah. Well, I am not drinking bourbon tonight. I am drinking moonshine,
ah,
butterscotch moonshine.
hey, I just opened that one actually.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh, you
mixed it
got one of
with
those? Yeah.
cream soda, A&W cream soda.
Mm.
It was good.
It's basically cream soda itself.
Right.
Oh, it's so good.
It is really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite one of the ones I got. Super good.
I really like the chocolate one, whatever that one was, the coffee chocolate one.
Yeah, that's good. That's very good, but it gets old pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's not really a liquor. It's more of a dessert. So,
Right. Yeah.
yeah. Well, let's get into our weeks. I have started reading comics again. So, with all the crap I got going on. Um, so I'm trying to just like get an issue in every night, because I'm like laying in bed and I'm like falling asleep. So it's like a little like right, like you unwind. Sometimes YouTube or social media. My unwind is comics. So that's the last thing I do.
Do they have do they have comics on tape or like CD or podcasts?
I'm sure there's probably like audio versions, but it's a visual medium. It's mostly art. So um,
Right. Right. I
it'd
guess
be
it would be kind of like the Batman audio adventures, but
yeah. So
what
like
I'm thinking.
comics used to be like the blocked panels. It used to be a lot more text and just smaller images. Now it's become a lot more art and less words. They tried to convey the emotions and the what's the word I'm looking for? The I guess they just try to convey everything through the art, and it's really good art. So yeah, I like comics because I like stories and I like art, really cool art. So they combine very well. But speaking of art, I got Cinema 4D, so now I'm creating 3D animations. So I'm hoping to eventually get to like creating at least like one piece a week and kind of just posting it on Instagram. There's this guy named Beeple who his goal, he's been doing this for, I don't know, 3,000 days straight now, where he posts a different 3D animation render every single day. He creates it in the morning and then he posts it sometime during the day. I mean, it varies. Sometimes it's late at night, but I don't think he's ever missed a day. So since he started, so I don't have that talent, but I'd like to try to at least do it like weekly. That'd be kind of cool. Um,
How many gifts have you made?
I haven't created. I'm still working on my first thing. It's like it's a crab, like a 3D animated crab. That's gonna just like kind of move his claws and stuff. So and there'll be like bubbles, kind of in his fish tank. So that's my
Forget
first
the
thing.
pinch.
Yep, you got pinches. Yeah, so it's kind of on my road to becoming a visual effects artist. I gotta learn the 3D animation stuff first and motion graphics, kind of like the easy stuff, and then get into like Houdini and Nuke and Maya, which are kind of like the base, applications for creating effects, like full effects or like effects mixed in with real imagery or real video, I guess. So that's my eventual goal. So I'm kind of paving that route right now.
Nice.
And I've been watching a lot of Bad Batch, so I think I'm almost halfway through now of season 2. I told
Yeah.
you this last week. It was pretty boring at first, but it's definitely picked up a lot.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I would like to see more though. So I would just watch the episode, and we're literally going to review it next week. But I just watched the episode, where where Palpatine, um, uh, introduces the Stormtrooper program, which was really
Yeah.
cool. and that was like an exciting kind of turn in the plot. But then the very next episode, they're like it goes back to where it was. I'm like, okay, not
Yeah,
that the
I know.
next episode was bad per se, but I was expecting more build up than to keep going in that direction.
Right,
So
right. It looked like they were really going to delve into those universe ideas of Star Wars,
right,
which they did, but then they didn't keep it going. They
yeah,
gave it a taste, and then they're like, "Oh, remember, we're Disney,
yeah,
so you don't get it anymore."
right, right.
But
Yeah. So yeah, I think the thing about Star Wars for me is I am kind of burnt out on all these side stories and like the lore building. Like it was really cool at first when we first got Mandalorian. It's like, oh, like there's more to Star Wars than just the Skywalkers. But now I'm kind of missing the Skywalker type stuff, like getting back to everything kind of connects to the main story, in some way. And I think like um Clone Wars did a lot of that connecting to the main story and building up to something big. So
yeah,
I was kind of hoping Bad Batch would follow that, but I don't know.
they're half doing that. But
Yeah.
but don't worry, we are gonna get back to Skywalker, Ray Skywalker.
Yeah. Fair enough. Oof. Oof. Um.
Yeah,
So yeah. So that's what I've been watching. I've also just been playing some Hogwarts Legacy in the meantime, waiting for Diablo. So haven't really done much in terms of video games lately. Some Elden Ring here and there. I attempted to watch Spaceballs for the first time, and I like cringe, awkward humor, like dry humor, but this was like it brought it to a whole nother level of cringe. I couldn't. I got through 20 minutes of it and I turned it off. I couldn't keep watching that.
yeah.
So,
I watched it with my in-laws. That was
oh
pretty interesting.
yeah, were they laughing at all?
Uh, my father-in-law was laughing.
Yeah, I don't know. It was funny, but it wasn't like you would expect it to be something like Monty Python type of humor. But Monty Python's like clever, this I don't think this was very clever. I thought it was just kind of bimbo Star Wars.
Stupid. Yeah, very good. Oh yeah,
So, yeah, no, I turned it off pretty quick.
yeah.
Um,
Breaking the fourth wall was funny at first, but it
yeah,
was
they like watch Spaceballs. Yeah, and then I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
okay, where is this going? This is stupid.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
Right.
Uh, I started watching the new Pinocchio. I can never say his name. The horror guy Guillermo del Toro, or
Yeah.
I can never say his name, but he's famous for horror type genres. He made a show on Netflix called Cabinet of Curiosities, which is like a lore type show, horror
Hmm.
lore show. It's like an anthology series. It's pretty good. Um, but yeah, so he made a Pinocchio movie in like claymation,
Hmm.
and it was pretty good for a little while, but the Pinocchio guy was kind of it was supposed to be a little on the creepy, like a little edgy. I did not
Yeah.
like it, so I turned that off too. So I was like, wow, I'm down 0-2 here. So no good movies.
Which is
Um,
interesting because you said you've liked horror and thrillers,
well,
so
it wasn't like it was a bad horror movie. It was just like it's those claymation ones are just like I can't do those things. I like
yeah,
Nightmare Before Christmas. That one's pretty good. But
yeah.
somehow claymation just freaks me out a little more. It's just weird.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's not claymation; it's just animated. But Tim Burton's Nine.
yeah, I like 9. Yeah, but that's more
That
of a
was really good.
thriller than a horror.
Yeah, I
So, I
guess so.
guess Nightmare Before Christmas is also a thriller.
Yeah.
But anyways, this was definitely supposed to kind of be on the creepy edge, Um, so I don't know. It brought me back to Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Were Rabbit for some
Yeah.
reason. I kept getting
Yeah.
vibes on that movie for
Well,
whatever
that's
reason.
classic claymation there.
Yeah, cheese Gromit. It's good stuff.
The moon is made of cheese.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So tempted to watch those two. Um. I watched Saving Private Ryan on Memorial Day, which I always do. Still a
Hmm.
great movie. Still makes me bawl my eyes out. It's a great movie.
Still gotta watch it.
You've never seen it?
I've never seen it.
Wow, that's one of the greatest movies of all time. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. Vin Diesel's in it too, actually.
Hmm.
A young Vin Diesel. So it came out the year I was born.
Yeah.
So
That'd be a good movie night with Barrett, I
yeah,
think.
I brought it up before, but they're about to have a child, so probably won't be having movie nights anymore
Right.
for a while at least.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I watched that, and then so I watched a lot of movies here, but I also watched Sisu last Friday night, and it's gotten mixed reviews. I really liked it actually. It's a short movie. It's an hour and a half film. I would say it's not necessarily. It's not a. It's kind of a popcorn movie because not a ton happens in it, but I think it's got a lot of cool elements to it. Um, it's made by the producers of John Wick, um, but it's a foreign film technically. I think so. It came out in Finland last year at a film festival, and they released it in the U.S. this year. So yeah, it was a good movie. Basically, there's this Finnish guy who's a gold miner during World War II, and he's an ex military guy. You find more about his story as you watch. But essentially, it's at the very end of the war, so it's 19, what was it, 45,
45.
something like that. And so the Nazis kind of realize that they're losing the war, so they just go like full, scorched earth. They're trying to burn everything and just take out everything they can before they're gone. So everything's kind of being destroyed, but this guy is just mining gold. And he happens upon this huge deposit of gold. So he packs it all up, and then on his way back to town, he runs into a bunch of Nazis. And so the Nazis find out what he's got, and of course they try to take it from him and kill him. But this guy's like John Wick, so it had a lot of had a lot of the cheesy elements, like he will not die, even though he should have multiple times. Um, but yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it. It was laughable, at times where like the cheesy stuff, I was like, okay, that's kind of stupid, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Um, but the cinematography and like just the action kind of made up for it for me. So um, there is a dog
Sometimes,
too.
sometimes, sometimes it's nice to watch those types of movies though, because with all the crap that we have going on, which is
Yeah,
funny, it's hilarious in that it's so bad, but it's like to watch a movie that's supposed to be a little over the top and
yeah,
dramatic and like that. It's fun
it's
to do that every once
refreshing.
in a while. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I'd probably give it a. I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10, maybe an 8.
Hmm.
So it was pretty good. I liked it. Not the movie of the year,
Nice.
but um, yeah. So that's pretty much all I've done. How about you?
Nice. Uh, well, I got a new TV, a
Yeah,
new 65-inch TV, which is pretty nice. Which people may laugh because I feel like everybody has like a 65 or 70 or 75-inch TV these days.
yeah.
But this is new for me. I've never owned. Our family didn't grow up. We didn't grow up with flat screen TVs
We
or
didn't grow
anything.
up
So
with television.
right.
Yeah,
So have it, and we just we got a hand-me-down TV, which was great. Like when we first got married and such. But it was nice to get a new TV. So
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome. You can actually see it. I'm very excited to play video games on it. I have not done that yet, but it'll be nice to do that and to be able to sit in a comfortable chair rather than my horrible office chair where I had before.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I christened it by watching Batman and Superman Battle of the Super Sons,
You watched an
which was not
animated movie first? You should have watched
I did
like Lord of the Rings or something. You should have christened it with Star
yeah.
Wars or Lord of the Rings.
I will. I'll watch that eventually. But
Yeah.
I just needed I just wanted to pick something, so I saw that and I was like, oh, okay, I've never seen this before.
Yeah,
That
that's on
wasn't
my
too bad.
list. It's on my list to watch. So,
Yeah, I mean, all those animated can be a little cheesy at times, but Damian Wade is an awesome character.
yeah.
Uh, Jonathan Kent,
Well, he's gay.
not a
Did you know he's gay in the
no.
comics? Yeah, he's gay in the comics now, apparently. But so is Tim
Happy Pride
Drake,
Month.
which is stupid. Tim Drake is not gay.
What?
Tim Drake's had a million girlfriends. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, he's a
I
total playboy.
he's not a playboy.
Or no, I'm
Dick
thinking
is
of
more the
yeah, I'm
womanizer.
thinking right. Yeah,
Not
Dick
Tim.
Grayson. That's
But
yeah.
I just hate that they have to retcon every single freaking straight character to make them gay. Like everybody's gay now. It's like why? Like what's the point of doing that? Like seriously, like what's the point?
Yeah. It's like if everybody's gay, no one is. Like everybody's
Okay.
special. No one is.
Yeah. So
Oh
I don't know.
gosh.
But anyways, yeah,
Yeah.
way to ruin a
So
great
yeah,
character like Tim Drake.
yeah,
I
that's unfortunate.
So the Super Sons comic book series is a newer one,
Okay.
and I've heard it. It's good. It's probably got some woke elements to it. But did they kind of was there
Yeah.
anything like that in the movie?
There, it was interesting. They did make some more modern day references. Nothing I thought was woke, but it was funny. Jonathan Kent was talking with his dad, and his dad made a comment or whatever, and he said like, "Is that fake news or something like that?" So it's like, it's funny that they use a phrase like that, but
Yeah,
I didn't think it was like woke or anything at all. But the villain, do you want me to tell you who the villain is? Or
sure.
maybe you already know. It's Starro. So I thought that was actually pretty cool.
Hmm.
Because he's not. I don't know. I don't think he's that impressive of a bad guy. But
In the comics, he is.
yeah, okay. So
Yeah,
maybe yeah.
he
But
was. Do you know he was the Justice League's first villain ever?
really,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
he was the very
So maybe
first
it's
Justice League villain. Yeah, in
yeah.
Justice League #1. Or is it JLA #1? I can't remember what it was. I think it was the Justice League of America #1. It was it's
Yeah,
a famous issue. I'm sure you've seen it before, where all the
I'm sure. Yeah,
Justice League are fighting Starro. It's a really
yeah,
old one, but
yeah. But yeah, like I think just when I watched Suicide Squad, I was like, okay, whatever. But it was actually he was a pretty good villain in this, I would say. Um, and I knew right away because they tried to make it sneaky. I won't spoil it all, but tried to make it sneaky with him, like in the beginning, kind of a flash, like insignificant detail. I was like, oh, that's totally Starro. We're doing Starro.
oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was no, I was wrong. It was the Brave and the Bold, so it's even older actually. Uh, Justice League. Let me just. Eh,
Speaking of Batman, too. Oh, Justice League of America. Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
Justice League America, Star of the Conqueror. So it was the Brave and the Bold #28.
yeah,
So he was. I
yeah.
think I still think he was their first villain.
Okay,
But yeah,
yeah, yeah. No, he's an interesting villain, but if it wasn't for his hive mind, then I don't know. I mean, I
yeah,
guess that's his whole point. But
true.
speaking of or Batman, I we started watching Batman the Animated Series, which
That's
I
right.
have seen it before back in the day, but
Yeah.
I don't remember anything about it. So
I want to do a
I bet,
rewatch too, honestly, of it.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So I'm gonna keep going with that and rewatching that.
yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
Nice.
So that was pretty much my week.
Awesome. All right. Well, nobody's here. We have a couple of news items. Zach should be joining soonish, so we're just gonna go through some of these news items. So let me share my screen again. So Warner Bros. Gaslighting fans to save the Flash box office. So the Flash, which I've heard mixed reviews on. I've heard it's good. I've heard it's bad. I've heard it's going to be the biggest movie of the summer, blockbuster. I don't know yet. I think Mission Impossible is going to be the biggest blockbuster
Right.
this summer. Maybe
Yeah.
Oppenheimer. Those two are probably going to be the biggest competitors. But for superhero, as far as superhero movies go, this is going to compete with Justice or Indiana Jones probably and Spider-Verse, which comes out this weekend.
Oh yeah. Right.
So Warner
The
Bros.
trailer did look good
for which one?
for Flash.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm excited about the Batman side of things. I
Right.
don't know about Ezra Miller, man. You are. Yeah, I'm Batman. I'm like, why do you have to say it like that? You are.
I know
Just
it's
say
like a
you're.
cheesy. Right.
So Warner Bros. Wants you to know that problem child Ezra Miller will continue being the Flash as long as director Andy Muschietti is involved in the Warner Bros. Superhero franchise. During an interview on the Discourse podcast, Muschietti claims he has no plans to recast Miller despite the actor's history of legal troubles and alleged abuse. Of course, we have to get rid of what's her face, Cara Dune,
Right.
but for saying
But we're
something
gonna
controversial on Instagram or Twitter, and then this guy is literally running from the law, kidnapping children, and sure, he's fine. We'll just let him off. Like, come on,
right.
man.
Yeah.
Zach, you there?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, joined just in time for us to talk about Ezra Miller Flash
Welcome.
here.
Stop using Ezra Miller's preferred pronouns. It says.
All right, so let's get you
All
in
right,
there.
good deal. Where's Tyler?
Tyler was gonna be back from the UK today, but his flight got delayed. So he's currently in Houston, Texas, in a layover. So he's right by you. We just doxed Zach.
You should have let. Oh, I just unplugged my headphone.
Oh, I said we just doxed you.
Yeah, it's fine.
Are you in a closet right now?
Yes, I'm in the closet.
Yeah.
Tristan's asleep.
Nice.
So are we not doing Batman v Super Spider-Man?
No, we still are.
But isn't he the only pro Spider-Man?
Not necessarily.
Wow, way to make assumptions.
Let the I guess the different I don't even know what the word is. We're going through a bunch of different let the facts speak for themselves. There you go.
Okay.
We're going to be looking at different things. So, who knows? It could go either way in my opinion. So, but yeah, so basically Warner Bros is gaslighting fans. So Ezra Miller is not going anywhere apparently, despite all his legal troubles. We were just talking about the fact that Cara Dune, what's her face, was let go off of a controversial tweet. Gina Carano. But this guy who ran from the law and kidnapped people is still gonna remain.
And probably gave drugs to underage kids.
Yeah.
Beat up people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if a sequel happens, yes, I don't think there's anyone that can play that character as well as they did. Please. Also, they did. You know, gotta have the pronouns there. Yeah. Is that what you just said, Nick?
I'm sorry. Are they talking about multiple people?
Yeah. I think anybody could be a better Flash than Ezra Miller. Actually.
I guess. I guess in this case it is fair because there are two Flashes in the movie. So
Yeah. Well,
is they?
that's a good point. I think Henry Cavill should be the Flash. Anybody, put anybody in that role. So he says the other depictions of the character are great, but this particular vision of the character, I can't do it. They just excelled in doing it. And as you said, the two Barrys, it feels like a character was made for them. Okay, this is
so confusing.
Retarded. Stop using preferred pronouns. That's fantastic. I love this website, by the way. It's Bleeding Fool. The Flash producer, Barbara Muschetti, added, it must be a wife, or a transgender, who knows, added, in principal photography, Ezra was brilliant and most committed and the most professional actor. Ezra gave everything for this role, physically, creative, emotionally. He was absolutely awful. So,
is that his mugshot?
Yeah, that's his mugshot. But many moviegoers have not forgotten that the actor has been in a lot of trouble in recent years. He's made headlines after a recording surfaced in which he appeared to be choking a woman outside a bar in Iceland. No charges were filed. The actor was also arrested twice in Hawaii last year, once for disorderly conduct and harassment. I think that was against a cop, too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I think I remember.
He was also cited in Vermont with felony burglary last year. In the Hawaii incidents, Miller pled no contest to a single count of misdemeanor disorderly conduct and paid a $500 fine, $30 in court costs. Wow, that's pretty low.
What?
Yeah, that's weird. Harassment charge was later dismissed. So basically a bunch of stuff. So, given that Muschetti's The Flash was developed and filmed under the previous leadership at DC Studios, it's unclear whether or not the Miller starring tentpole will get a sequel or not. I freaking hope not. James Gunn and Peter Safran are now in charge of DC, and their first slate announcement did not include any Miller Flash. No doubt that a strong showing at the box office could change their minds. That's a little nerve-wracking, right? Because it could be a good movie. Otherwise, other than having him on there, but I
thought the whole point was to do a hard reset on everything.
Projections are not looking good, though. It says chances are there will never be a sequel, and the team would not admit this prior to the film's release. And it's kind of just like Rings of Power, you know?
Yeah.
I'm betting it's gonna get canceled. So, I mean, if you start off months before the show comes out and start calling your fans racist, you got a problem.
Yeah.
All right. And then the second thing I wanted to go over. This is interesting to me. It might not be as interesting to some other people, but I'm a big Pink Floyd fan. If you don't know who Roger Waters is, he essentially is one of the co-founders of Pink Floyd. He was the lead vocalist for a while. And the dude was pretty controversial. He was kind of a wacko. But they obviously Pink Floyd's The Wall album is a pretty famous album. And it kind of covers very controversial topics, including he imagining in his mind that he's a Nazi, essentially killing all the gays. Of course, there was a 1982 movie version of The Wall where he, enacted this all out. And now he's getting in trouble for it, I guess. And it's like, do you know who Pink Floyd is? So on May 17th and 18th, Roger Waters performed at the Mercedes-Benz Arena in Berlin while donning a long black leather coat and a red armband with two hammers arranged into an X. Black gloves, black suit, and a tie. and a toy machine gun. After outcry on social media, German officials began looking into the rocker on suspicion of suspected incitement for wearing Nazi-like images. Other stage decorations, including the famous inflatable pig with a Nazi-inspired logo, a Star of David, and banners with Third Reich-style artwork.
What do you mean the famous inflatable pig?
So in Animals, the album Animals, the pig is kind of like a.
It's like Animal Farm.
It's supposed to be like Animal Farm. So there's a lot of pig themes in that album.
Got it.
And they always had a giant inflatable pig that floated around. So it's just another cancel culture thing. However, this guy is a freaking wacko, so
yeah,
you never really know. But if you understand the context, yeah.
I don't know.
This guy, Nina Murata, I'm Jewish, The Wall is Warning, the story of how isolationism can lead, well, that's essentially what it is, yeah, can lead to unhinged fascism. Waters wrote the screenplay for the movie, and this is literally Pink's costume from the movie. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird.
It is kind of weird, but in the context of it...
I'm not going to live or die on the hill of allowing him to dress up in Nazi-ish clothes in Germany.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing.
It's just kind of interesting, It could go either way.
To do that.
Well,
I don't know about
there's good people on both sides.
Right.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I don't love Nazis, people. That's not what I'm saying.
Nope.
No.
Nobody here loves
I hate Nazis.
But we're not Antifa.
No.
Right.
We're actually anti-fascist.
Correct.
We're God-fearing Americans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud to be an American because at least I know I'm free. All right. So, Zach, what have you been up to?
Well, I literally just got back from South Padre Island, which was not for fun. It was work-related. But,
what is even on that island? Is it
it's literally
residential
just beaches.
Or okay?
I mean, yeah, there's like houses and apartments and hotels and stuff, but it's beaches. It's a beach town. It's most well known for like high school kids going down there and just getting blackout drunk during the summer.
Nice.
And college kids, it's where like if you're gonna go to a rager party in Texas in the summer, it's probably at South Padre Island.
It's like the Miami Beach of Texas.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. It was fun. It was a long drive. It was like 6 or 7 hours down there. Got to go on. So we're dredging the access channel for the Coast Guard station from where they store their boats and then where they drive them from their station to the Brownsville ship channel. And so first off, you roll up to the station and there's their sign, right? Like U.S. Coast Guard Station, South Padre Island. And there's these 2 gold marijuana stickers with X's through them and then 4 green ones smaller next to it. And so we were like, that's weird. And we asked the Coast Guard guy who's showing us around, we're like, is that badges, stickers on the helmet for college football? He's like, yeah. He says, so the gold one, when you do a drug bust, he's like, for every 100 pounds of marijuana, you get a green sticker, and then for every 1,000, you get a gold. So they've recovered at that station 2,400 pounds of weed, basically, since it's been open.
Weed's
so
not legal in Texas yet?
No.
Oh.
No. And
Come on up here.
too,
I just kind of assume at this point.
Drug running, right? There, even if it was legal, you can't bring drugs into America,
right,
from international waters.
Mm-hmm.
And they had this huge weather balloon in the air, which was really cool. I won't really go into detail, but yes, it was way up in the sky, and was
it from China?
No, it just the border patrol uses it to monitor stuff.
Some people, Joe Biden, he'd shoot it down. Me, I would take it and use it for ourselves, for America.
Exactly.
For America.
But it was so cool. They have an 86-foot cutter in there, which is big boat. It's just some bad ass boats, like
Yeah.
huge motors. Like it, I'm really excited for this project. It's gonna be fun.
Nice.
I hope they get like a bust or something when we're out there. They just go flying out the station. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I
did that.
shadowed the King County Sheriff once, and they had just made a drug bust, and they had about $500,000 that they confiscated, and so I just like sitting in front of me was $500,000. I was like,
That's
holy
crazy.
crap!
I
That's
shadowed
wild.
the coroner and got to see a bunch of pictures of body parts.
Yeah, that's also intense.
Not actual body parts.
No, I didn't see actual body parts, but I did see a bucket full of drugs actually in there. They have like a 55-gallon drum just chock full of drugs.
Like pumped out of people's stomach,
No,
or
I think they were just found on them. So you should have
that's
sold it, Nick.
Like stole it, you mean?
Yeah, taken it and sold it. Yeah.
or just
Right.
kept it. Yeah. So yeah, did
Fentanyl.
that. Listened to stand-up comedy all the way there and back, which was fun.
Nice.
Didn't do much really nerdy this week. Been watching Charlotte on Netflix with my wife, which obviously is not
Sorry, what?
historically accurate in the least.
Charlotte, what?
Huh?
It was cash, Nathan. Billy.
Was it in cash or drugs?
Yeah.
Okay, it was in cash.
No, it was cash.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
You got the
but yeah,
cash, I got the drugs.
That's like
I
a
guess.
spin-off from Bridgerton for anyone who doesn't know.
Oh yeah.
It's about the Queen.
I've decided I'm getting rid of Netflix pretty soon.
Yeah.
So there's just
Well,
nothing
at least wait
really
till June 15th when
Extraction 2, yeah.
Black Mirror season 6 comes out
Oh,
June
yeah.
5th. Extraction 2 comes out June 16th.
That's right. Yep. I forgot about that. I didn't watch the trailer yet, but I didn't watch last season either.
It wasn't as good.
Was there?
That was the Miley Cyrus
There was
one,
an
right?
actual season. Oh yeah, was the
It
Miley
was a
Cyrus
3-episode
season?
season or something
Right,
like that.
it was
3 or 4 episodes, yeah.
Got it. Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
The Miley Cyrus one was weird. It seemed more like a story about her actual life, just dramatized,
Yeah.
rather than an original story.
I
was
love
like, are
those-
you just moaning and groaning?
It was like Britney Spears, or it was like Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, it was like Britney Spears and
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus. Yeah.
I love those reels on Instagram of where Miley Cyrus is talking like this.
It's really about the journey.
The end of the day. And then you'd put it on like a dog, like barking. Stranger Things final season comes out late this year.
That's true too.
I don't think so anymore though, because
they pushed it, the writer's strike?
Of the writer's strike. So yeah.
No, in Witcher season 3.
Yeah, I
comes
know,
out
but do I really
sometime.
even want to watch it? I don't even know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't want to see more Yennefer, being better than Geralt. So, we'll see.
Yep.
All right.
So that's that. I'll be spending most of my summer down in Padre, so that'll be fun.
Nice. Is there an airport there?
In Brownsville, which is like 45 minutes to an hour away.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, let's get into it, guys. Let's get into the main topic of the day, which is Batman versus Spider-Man. Who's better? So we're going to be looking at who would win in a fight, but we're going to do that last. So we're going to actually look at a few of the kind of like, different features. Or I can't think of the freaking word that I've been...
Aspects.
You're right.
Abilities
is one of them, yes. So we're going to be looking at different aspects and kind of going through some of those and then ending it with the fight and then ultimately, so who's the better one. So, and what I mean by who's the better one, I don't necessarily say who's the better character because I think Batman's the better character. I just think who's the better superhero, who's ultimately the more heroic one, and you got to look at all the different things. So, I guess we can kind of say who's better, but we'll go through this. So we're gonna start with abilities first. So I'll kind of list out some of the abilities here, and then we'll kind of keep like a list of who's winning. So Batman's abilities. He's got genius level intellect. He's at peak physical and mental conditioning for a human, essentially, just a regular human. He's a master in martial arts. He knows about over 100 martial
14.
arts.
I thought he's a master of 14 though.
Yes,
is what
okay.
I saw.
But he's knows over 100 different martial arts.
But he's like master level at 14 or 15, something like that.
He's a acrobat. He's the world's greatest detective. He is the best strategist in the DC universe. He's a swordsman. He's a tactician. He's a marksman. He uses high-tech equipment, weapons, armor, gadgets. He's a master of stealth. So essentially, as far as military grade goes, he's probably top tier.
Let's just say if he was in Star Wars, he would be on the Jedi Council.
Yes.
Yes.
Without the Force.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So then for Spider-Man, we got superhuman strength, we got speed, stamina, agility, reflexes, durability, ability to stick to solid surfaces. He's got his spider sense. He's got night vision. He's got accelerated healing.
He has night vision?
He does. Yep. Toxic stingers that extend from his forearms, and the ability to produce.
What version of Spider-Man has toxic stingers?
Zach, there's years and years of comics. He becomes a giant spider at one point.
Well, I remember when he got the arms that grew out, the extra arms. I remember that.
That's it. Yeah, there's an alternate universe version of him where there's
it's also
arms.
a storyline from like the cartoon, where he grows two extra arms out either side.
Right. Yeah. So those are some of their abilities. So essentially, Batman is peak human. Spider-Man is, essentially one of the strongest.
Well, I've actually heard a lot of arguments too that he may be way stronger than you even realize.
He does pull his punches a lot. He beat Kingpin to a pulp one time.
Well, even think about Civil War
with no effort.
Right. This is teenage Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Stops Bucky's arm mid-punch and then just casually bends it backwards like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
And this is Bucky who beat the crap out of Black Panther.
And Captain America at one point, though he was letting him to an extent.
Yeah. He had some emotional trauma.
Right. So Spider-Man's insanely strong.
I think it's not necessarily a question then of whether Spider-Man's who's more powerful, because obviously when it comes down to power, Batman doesn't have any powers, right?
Right.
But it's more of who's got the better abilities, realistically, like I think it's pretty obvious. I'm trying really hard right now, but I think it's pretty obvious who has the better abilities here. But I guess it kind of comes down to which would you rather have.
Right. Well, yeah, it depends on your uses. If you need a high level tactical plan, you want Batman.
Yeah.
Right.
But if it's a 1v1, maybe you want Spider-Man.
There's very interesting though.
So this actually no. You know what? No, I'm going Batman. I'm still going Batman because even in a 1v1, he is the king.
We haven't gotten to the fight yet, though. We haven't gotten to fight.
No, I'm saying, Batman's skill set.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take that into account. He is a master tactician, even in 1v1 situations. It's not saying he only knows how to do group tactics.
Yeah,
I would take Batman. I'd still take Batman.
I will also say this too. Superman, who's obviously the strongest superhero, hands down, of anybody. There is no limit to Superman's power. he said Batman's the most dangerous man alive, and he meant it.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, Batman becomes in an alternate universe becomes the Batman who laughs, which is the Joker essentially
Corrupted him.
corrupts him, and he conquers the Omniverse.
Mm-hmm.
The Omniverse is the multiverse for multiverse,
Yeah.
So he becomes the most powerful being in the Omniverse. So yeah, if you got to take his mind into account as a superpower,
Right.
because he is,
I think you do.
he is the most intelligent. I would say he's the most. Some people say Lex Luthor is the most intelligent person in DC, but I think it's debatable between him and Bruce Wayne. So, yeah, I think when it comes to power, at a first glance, it's obvious Spider-Man's way more powerful than Batman.
I know.
But that would be only the case if Batman was just his
Zero
skills and not his mind. So,
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, it kind of
Yeah,
evens
I
out in my book.
Well, that's why, like, there's a subreddit called "Who Would Win,"
Yeah.
and so basically they're like, "Who do you think would win, person A versus person B?"
It's always
Batman
Spider-Man
is
and
brought
Batman. It's always those two.
Well, whenever Batman's brought up, they always have to caveat it and say, "Okay, here's scenario 1, 0 prep.
Right.
Scenario 2,
with
24
prep time.
hours of prep, and then scenario 3 with like a week of prep."
Yes.
And everybody, there'll be arguments for 0 prep that he loses. 24 hours, most of the time, people are like, "I'd still probably go Batman with 24 hours a week." They're like, "Yeah, it's over. Batman wins every time."
Yeah, I mean, Batman
Well,
has a contingency plan for the entire Justice League.
Right.
which movie was it? The animated movie where the group of supervillains, each kind of main DC heroes supervillain comes together and
You're talking about the Earth 2 JLA? Or the
Uh,
Justice or the Syndicate?
no, the one with the old guy, the guy who is immortal, that he's the main bad guy. He lives in the swamp.
Ra's al Ghul?
No,
No,
it's,
not
it's
Ra's al
actually
Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul. You're talking about the guy who's lived for thousands of years.
Right, yeah.
What's his name?
Also Ra's al Ghul. No.
Literally,
AKA Ra's al Ghul.
whatever
Crap.
his name is, whatever movie that is. My point is that
This is
Batman
gonna bug
had literally 0 prep. I mean, okay, he had prep time because he's always prepared, always. But
Vandal
he was
Savage.
surprised. Randall Savage.
Vandal,
Yeah.
Vandal Savage, yeah.
Or Vandal Savage.
Yeah.
So he was totally surprised, and he ended up figuring a way out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say 0 prep time. He still wins anytime.
Most of the time. Yeah.
However, and we'll kind of get into it a little bit later. Actually, we can maybe do that one next. Actually, might as well just move to it now. In terms of intellect,
I was going to say one other thing. Well, okay. Well, that's actually, if you're going to bring up intellect,
yeah,
there's a run where Batman can control a lantern ring, right? Like,
yes, yeah,
that again
Mhm.
is like another thing where it's just like his
and a
mind,
Sinestro wing because of his use of fear.
right? Like
Yeah.
his mind is it literally is a weapon. You have to take it into account.
However, okay, yes. So we've been talking about his mind, but we're also talking about Peter Parker here. So
That's true.
when we come down to intellect, I actually have the numbers here.
I think Spider-Man wins on intellect.
Bruce's IQ is 190 to 210. Peter's is over 250.
Yes, I would.
So-
I mean, yeah, I give this one to Spider-Man. He's a
Peter
genius.
is smarter. Is definitely smarter. But I don't necessarily know if he's a better strategist than Batman.
Right.
Right.
That's, I
You
would
know.
say strategist wise.
But I think he could figure out something pretty quick. He is a good strategist. He does figure out weak points in his rogues, you know. Yeah. Peter Parker built his own web shooters, but
Mhm.
Batman built all his own stuff too.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
you know,
stuff.
it's hard. It's very hard to. Yeah. Okay, but Dilly,
Batman invented multiple things.
he invented cures for the fear toxin. He invented a cure to the Joker toxin, to Bane's venom. Like, he's invented all these things. So, you know, we could go back and forth all day. It's pretty in terms of intellect, I would say Peter's smarter, but it's a pretty hard fight there.
I don't want to jump ahead too much, but even if you could say that Peter Parker or Spider-Man would overpower Batman, even in intellect, think of the fact that Batman has a contingency plan for every single superhero, including Superman.
Right. Well, Superman's. It's funny because he's not very hard to have a plan against. But
Kryptonite.
But he would have a contingency for Spider-Man.
Right.
He would, for sure.
Well, and we didn't touch much on spider sense too. I mean,
right.
The Spidey sense is obviously
that's his bread and butter.
Precognition, right?
Yeah.
Like that's people overlook that all the time because it's just like, oh, yeah, the Spidey sense, right?
Yeah.
But that's literally precognition.
Right. So yeah, he could sense the things Batman's gonna do before he does it, but Batman's always one step ahead. So it's like,
right. That's the thing. Batman's like
who
10
knows?
steps ahead. So
who really knows?
Spidey sense.
Yeah. One step ahead, but senses the one step ahead, but is one step ahead.
And it's funny too because they've always worked together. Anytime there's been crossover comics, they've always worked together, and they like each other.
Haven't they actually fought once?
I'm sure they have. Won? I just don't know if anybody won.
From my research, they fought once, and Batman won.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure.
Spoilers.
I can't verify that or not, but I know they worked together multiple times. There was one. The most famous one crossover was the Joker goes to, let's see, what is it? Yeah, I think the Joker goes to the Marvel Universe, Batman comes with, and the Punisher is about to beat Joker to a crisp, and Batman beats up the Punisher because he doesn't want him to die. But Joker teams up with Carnage. And so it's Batman and Spider-Man versus Carnage and Joker. They're both insane. You would think it'd be the Green Goblin, but they chose the Joker or the Carnage. And I think it was so Carnage wanted to basically destroy everything, and Joker's like, "Well, I can't have you do that. I don't want you to destroy it. I just want to have fun with it." So he turns against Carnage. Of course, can't trust the Joker. So, and there was one where him and Red Skull team up, but then he realized Red Skull was a Nazi. He's like, "I'm still an American." So
I've seen that comment.
The Joker said
before.
that. Yeah,
the Joker knocks him out.
Yeah,
It says like "dirty Nazi" or something like that.
Right. That was an older one.
Gosh, that is an interesting thing about the Joker. It's like he's like to Batman. He's like, we need each other. We're just gonna be locked in this perpetual fight for the rest of our lives.
Eternity.
The soul of Gotham.
R.I.P. Heath Ledger. What could have been?
Yeah. So I think in terms of intellect, I think
Spider-Man
has to win that. In terms of abilities, I don't know. It's pretty even matched, I'd say.
I think it's very, very even, but I would give the slight edge to Batman.
Okay. Yeah, especially because of strategy.
Yeah. Yep. So essentially, we got 1-1 here so far.
Yep.
All right. Rogue Gallery. This one's gonna be a fun one. So here's Batman's Rogue Gallery. We got the Joker. We got Two-Face, Bane, Penguin, Clayface, Catwoman in some instances, Harley Quinn, Killer Croc, Mad Hatter, Man-Bat, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Ra's al Ghul, the Riddler, Scarecrow, Black Mask, Calendar Man. He's actually pretty impressive, so don't hate on him. Hugo Strange, Hush, Lady Shiva, Victor Zsasz, the Phantasm, Professor Pig, Talia al Ghul. It goes on. Talon, the Court of Owls, the Ventriloquist, and Scarface, and then Solomon Grundy. Those are the main ones I put on there. Yeah. He's got a lot.
Yeah.
Now, Batman and
probably
Spider-Man.
Less if he killed them.
Yeah, true. Batman and Spider-Man are probably have the most well-known rogue galleries.
Yeah.
So this, it's kind of hard, but I will say this. So here's Spider-Man's: the Green Goblin, Venom, Doc Ock, Kraven, Lizard, Carnage, Electro, Kingpin, Scorpion, Hobgoblin, Sandman, Mysterio, Rhino, Jackal, Shocker, Vulture, Morbius, Mr. Negative, and Scream. Pretty big ones.
Spider-Man's is good too. I would say,
but the list is so much shorter. They're so much shorter.
But they're good.
They are good.
They're good. But I would say if you take Kingpin out, I think that list suffers a little bit, and you could make an argument Kingpin's more a Daredevil villain than he is a Spider-Man villain.
No, just because he's the villain in the
No,
TV show.
No, not just because
Kingpin
of that.
is primarily a Spider-Man villain in the comics. Majority of the time, he's Spider-Man's villain. So, yeah. So there's two ways to look at this. So, or three ways, I guess. Size, and Batman's got more iconic, or more that are iconic, right?
Yeah.
You can also look at it in terms of power. Who are the more powerful ones? We got some powerhouses in both. And then you could also look at it in terms of iconic, right? Who's more iconic?
I think if you do iconic, is there a more iconic villain than Joker?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think it's hard to beat Joker alone.
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's one that outside of just versus Spider-Man. There's no one villain in Spider-Man's Rogue that is by himself
completely
iconic.
Overshadows. Yeah.
Right.
Venom's close.
Yeah.
Doc Ock is
Green Goblin.
Green Goblin's close.
But the Joker transcends.
Joker is just yeah.
So
you could also look at it.
Did you guys talk about Sue Storm being cast for the Fantastic Four movie by Margot Robbie?
Oh no, that's true though.
Yeah, apparently she's been cast as Sue Storm.
I was actually happy about that. Yeah. But Keanu Reeves is potentially cast as, or not. Yeah, I think it was it Keanu Reeves? Or no, it was Adam Driver. Adam Driver as Mr. Fantastic, which I'm not really sure about.
That'll be weird. But
yeah, he just doesn't look like that part at all, and he's not a very good actor. So
no.
He was the best part of the sequel trilogy.
True.
Not saying much, but
what were you saying, Nick?
I was gonna say you could also look at it as in the way of like if they switched supervillains, how would they fare against the other supervillains?
Yeah,
and I don't think that Superman or Spider-Man would have an issue with any of.
I don't think Batman would either.
But I don't think he would either. So that's it. I don't know.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Spider-Man might have a problem with the Joker because the Joker's insane.
That's actually one note I'd put down here, and this is maybe giving away my hand a little bit, but Spider-Man couldn't handle Gotham City. He would go insane just knowing the corruptness of that city, you know? And he has the same moral code as Batman. He's not going to kill. So he would literally go insane just having to deal with Gotham City. So
yeah.
And I think Batman is really good at juggling multiple villains at one time or one after another, where I think Spider-Man, at least from what I know of Spider-Man, maybe not necessarily the comics, but he has issues with his one villain. He ends up defeating him, but I don't know how good he is.
Yeah. Whereas Batman just doesn't give up. Batman's like, all right, I got this one done. All right, time to go on to the next one.
Now, Spider-Man doesn't give up
because
either.
He's got plans.
Spider-Man never gives up in the comics, but Batman is a human, so
right.
Or he doesn't have any special abilities, I should say. He perseveres despite his human flaws.
I will say one of the comic book panels that will forever be in my memory is I don't even know what comic it's from. I don't remember, but the one where Spider-Man, it's the one they recreated in Homecoming.
Oh, where
he's underneath all that rubble in the comics. And the comics is even more impressive than in the movie.
Yeah.
Right, but in the comics he's underneath all that stuff and he's looks like it's the end of him and then he just lifts the whole thing up. That is just so iconic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an older one. But he has the power to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing, and like the thing is, and maybe this is just bias. I feel like Batman would find a way out of that
He
situation too
would, for
somehow,
sure.
Right. Yeah.
with
I
no
don't know if
powers.
Or
I don't know
he,
if you were gonna
and this
get
is
to
more
this.
heroic, he would just die. Like he would die, he would go down with the
Right.
villain or the city or whatever, you know.
Mm,
And he's done that multiple times and come back, but that's comics for you.
right.
So,
I don't know if you're gonna talk about this also, but I guess you could take into account their support, who they have
yeah,
as
I do mention that in a little
okay.
later here.
Okay.
But I don't know. I feel like Batman's rogues win.
Yeah, I think so
hands
too.
down.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Joker
way
alone
more
carries
iconic.
90% of that.
Yeah, and like we could also think about like these villains fighting each other too. I feel like Batman's villains would just demolish Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have no mercy at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, Bane versus Venom would be a cool fight though.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
So,
Tom Hardy versus Tom Hardy.
yeah. The only one I would say who could fit into DC would probably be Carnage, honestly. That's
Yeah.
about it from here. So, or the Green Goblin maybe. He's pretty crazy too.
Yeah, I can see him fitting in.
But so 2-1 Batman's in the lead.
Mm-hmm.
All right, aliases. So this one's kind of a stupid one, but I thought it was kind of fun. So Batman's got the Caped Crusader, sometimes called the Bat, and then the Dark Knight versus Spider-Man, Spidey, and Webhead. I don't know.
I think Batman wins that outright.
The Caped Crusader is one of the coolest names.
Yeah. Maybe a half point.
Him and Superman. Superman's called the Man of Tomorrow, and Batman's the Caped Crusader. I mean, it's like iconic, you know.
Man of tomorrow. We need a man today.
Yeah. We don't really have to count that one. I just thought that was kind of fun. All right. So this one is a big one. I don't know where Zach went, but costumes. So this is gonna greatly affect who would win, I guess. So Batman has the bat suit, which has an electrical system that can shock assailants. As a last resort, the bat suit is made of triple weave Kevlar, centered around the chest-mounted bat symbol, which is also intended to lure gunshots to the armor's thickest point. The suit has been drawn many ways, but it's described as modifying the details of his costume from time to time. Is often depicted as consistent of a scalloped cape, a bat-like cowl, pair of gloves, boots, the utility belt, and bodysuit, which the bodysuit is bulletproof most of the time. So it's tactical military grade, tear resistant, bulletproof, immune to temperature extremes, shock resistant, acid resistant, rebounds punches and kicks, and his cowl has a computer link to the Batcave. It's got X-ray, it's got thermal, sonar, and night vision. So they both have night vision. So that's Batman's suit's awesome. So that's Batman's suit.
I know that was. I feel like I'm just biased.
I know. I'm really trying hard not to be, but
I'm trying hard. I just love Batman.
So Spider-Man's is made from a skin-tight cloth, most likely spandex. Not as impressive.
Not as
costume is
at
mostly
all.
blue with red, boots, midsection, and a mask. He designed the web pattern that covers his suit, so he designed it himself. The suit also has black spider on the back. I mean, these are just cosmetics. The mask has plastic lenses with a chrome covering that allow Peter to see outside without letting others see in. The lenses also protect his eyes from dust, glare of the sun, blah, blah, blah. It helps him conceal his identity. It muffles his voice. And he wears the web shooters under his gloves. And he has a cartridge belt under his suit where he keeps stuff. He also has little spider trackers that he can connect with on the same frequency as his spider sense, up to like 100 miles or something like that.
So they both got utility belts.
They both have utility belts, but Batman's got a lot more stuff.
Right. I mean, in my opinion, Batman wins.
I mean, he's got way better.
Easily.
Now, if I were to say which one looks better, that one's
That's
hard.
what I was-
They're both pretty dope.
Yes,
I would
Yeah.
almost say Spider-Man just because
Yeah.
it is so
it is a very
so
iconic
cool.
look. Yeah,
but
and the red,
yeah,
white, and blue, right? Obviously,
Right.
we gravitate
Can't
towards
beat
the red
those
and
colors.
blue. Exactly.
They're also both kind of cover the two different types of superhero suits too, you know, like the spandex sleek one or the
Mhm.
cape. The cape is, you know,
Yeah.
a famous thing too.
And
Cape
honestly,
boots.
too, the black Spider-Man suit, like not
Oh,
Venom,
the symbiote. Oh,
but the black Spider-Man, like
That is pretty sick.
whatever
the symbiote suit. Yeah. Yeah, the Venom suit.
however you want to say it, that is a great look too.
It is. Yeah,
Spider-Man
do
is it's a very good look. It's a very
It
good
is.
suit.
for sure.
Is it Batman the Brave and the Bold or Batman Beyond the
Batman
sleek
Beyond.
black? Yeah, that one is
The
pretty
future
sick,
Batman,
I
yeah.
think.
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah,
that's
red and black.
right.
That one's pretty
So,
dope.
I don't
yeah.
know.
We could
I mean,
compare
I would
that
say
to
that.
Spider-Man 2099. I think
Is that the one going to be in
Yeah,
Spider-Verse?
2099 is pretty awesome.
it is, but I would say Batman Beyond wins for sure.
Yeah.
It's just cool design. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's for me. It's a draw in terms of looks. They both help their abilities, you know. So it's kind of like it really does
Yeah.
come down to looks ultimately because
Right.
the abilities are heavily tied to their suits. So
Right. I don't know. B-Task Batman suit is just
it is.
So
it's
good.
iconic.
the
don't
dark
know.
blue is
I don't-
fantastic.
Yeah.
I can't really say. I think
I think this is another one where it's like abilities. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of a draw. It's pretty close.
yeah.
If you would say, so if you put their abilities and their suits at a draw, are we 1-1-2, 1-1-2?
So Batman's got 2 right now. Spider-Man's got 1.
Spider-Man has intellect.
Yep.
Batman has rogues gallery, and then they
And
tied
abilities.
for abilities and suits.
Oh, we tied. Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying if we tied.
Yeah, then it'd be 1-1.
2-2.
Yeah.
1-1-2.
So they're
Yeah.
tied essentially right now.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Slight edge to Batman.
Yes.
Right.
All right, love interests. This is actually a good one because this definitely influences who they are as characters.
I'm going to go Spider-Man here.
Well, so we got Selena Kyle, Julie Madison. If you don't know the comics, you don't necessarily know who she is, and Talia al Ghul. And then, okay, you're right.
Rachel.
Peter's got Mary Jane, who's the hottest comic book
Yep.
character of all time.
Yep. Gwen Stacy.
We also got Gwen Stacy, and we got Felicia Hardy,
Yep.
Black Cat.
Yep.
So
Spider-Man all the way.
yeah, hands down.
Uh,
yeah.
Hands down.
Spider-Man wins.
if I knew the comics, I might agree, but all I know is the movies and
Yeah.
the TV shows and such. So I would actually say Batman. I think I like Batman's better.
Well,
But
it's interesting because he usually Spider-Man's love interests, he needs to keep them safe for the most part. Obviously, Felicia Hardy
Except for Black Cat, yeah.
is Black Cat.
And
She's basically the Marvel version
Foxy.
of Catwoman. You know,
Yes.
she is.
yeah,
But all of Bruce's are also superheroes.
yeah.
So
Talia,
he even,
And, like, the
he even
thing-
got
the thing
he
is-
even got Batgirl pregnant one time because he's a dick.
gosh.
So
No, Gwen Stacy and Felicia Harding also have two of the most iconic, I'm gonna say, comic panels
yeah,
for female characters.
yes. I mean, Mary
Like,
Jane.
you know which two I'm talking about, right? The Mary
Yes.
Jane reading
Yes.
the book one.
with the Spider-Man
and then
shirt
the-
on.
Yes, and then the Felicia Hardy.
Nick's
cover.
pretending like he doesn't know.
I don't.
It's
Yeah.
iconic. You would know if you
Yeah.
saw it, but
Yeah, you'd probably know if you saw it.
yeah. I think this is
Yeah.
easy.
Yep. And technically, in an alternate universe, Gwen Stacy is Spider-Man,
True. Yeah,
Yeah,
Ghost
Spider-Man.
Spider.
Mhm.
She's called.
which that's a fantastic suit as
Or
well.
Spider
so.
Ghost. I forget. Yeah. I mean, if we're talking about who's better, Spider-Man's who helps him more.
Probably Batman.
It's difficult because I would say who motivates him more, Spider-Man's for sure. Everything he does is motivated by
But yeah, because
Ant-Man
Batman is
and Mary
Jane.
self-motivated.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wouldn't allow them to influence him at
Exactly.
all.
Right.
Yeah.
Batman's, yeah, he's just cold. So,
Mhm.
which, hey, he gets the job done then, you know?
Exactly.
He doesn't
And
have
Talia
weaknesses.
doesn't really help him.
Right. She's a
Right.
bad influence on him.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would
But
say Spider-Man.
she does give us Damian Wade, which is
That is true.
True.
awesome
That
character.
is a
Yeah.
big plus.
That's a good point. Yeah. So Spider-Man's in the lead right now.
Yep.
All right. Occupation and net worth. Ha ha ha.
Well,
So
I mean, this isn't really even fair.
it's
Uh,
okay. Well, let's talk about it. So Bruce Wayne, he's the owner and chairman of Wayne Enterprises.
Millionaire, billionaire,
his net worth is
philanthropic playboy.
his net worth is $100 billion. Excuse me. Not as rich as Tony Stark, but he's rich. Peter's net worth is $2 billion though.
really?
I'm
Yes.
surprised it's even that much.
He was the CEO of Parker Industries at one point.
I guess
He's
that's
also a photographer at Daily Bugle, and he was a professor at a college at one point. So
fair. I think.
yeah,
Batman
I think
wins.
Batman wins that one.
Yeah, Batman.
But Spider-Man's got some impressive resume.
Yeah.
At least he became a billionaire at one point. You know, he
Mhm.
lost it immediately after, but
Oh, of course,
um,
because Peter Parker can't have anything. good
but
happen to him.
Batman did also. Joker stole his entire wealth at one point. So, so they're tied again.
Yeah.
All right. In terms cities, we got Gotham City or New York City.
Both dumps.
Yeah.
I feel like Gotham takes it.
Yeah, I mean New York's awesome, but I mean Gotham.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
Gotham.
Gotham it's worse than New York in terms
It's
of
based on Chicago too,
yeah. But I mean, when you're talking about iconic
so we're not biased at
comic
all.
here cities, I mean,
Yeah.
Gotham just has a look
Again,
to
I
it.
think that ties a lot into his rogues gallery, right? Because his
Yeah.
rogues really make Gotham City.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think that goes in. Which the Gotham TV show is actually pretty good, and if you haven't watched it, you should.
Yeah, I started it a while back.
I
but
thought about it. Yeah.
didn't get very far.
It is one of those shows where you're like, you have to get through the first season, and then it gets good.
I hate that though. We
I
talked
know,
about
I
that
hate
last week.
those.
Like I shouldn't
Yes.
have to do that.
Yes, but you need to get through the first season,
It's
and
like
it really starts to pick
it's like
up.
Naruto. You should get through the first 10 seasons before it gets started. No, like no.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna
No,
skip
it
those
is.
seasons.
It is good though. It's
Yeah.
solid, and yeah, I liked it.
Best movie. This is difficult, actually. So I put
Homecoming is so good.
I put Dark
Homecoming.
No,
mean
I
No-
meant
No Way Home.
No Way.
No Way Home.
I also have
It's so
Spider-Man
good.
2 on there because that's a classic.
That is a good one.
I have The Dark Knight, and we got Batman '89, which is also a classic. So
I would have to say Batman on that one.
Dark Knight Rises.
The Dark Knight show.
Dark Knight Rises
movie.
isn't as good as Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
Oh, Batman Begins. Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises. Is the
Dark
last
Knight Rises. You're right. Yes.
one.
Sorry.
Now, Dark Knight has had more. Batman's had more movies, right?
Right.
So
He has.
I guess
many more because
he's had more chances to get it
Get it right.
better.
Yeah.
But I still.
I think I still would go with Batman too.
But I will
Like,
say
as
pretty
good as
much
No Way
every
Home is-
Batman movie has been great or good.
Yeah.
There's only been a
Yeah.
couple bad ones. Not
Would
every
No
Spider-Man
Way
movie's
Home-
good.
Would No
Some
Way
of them are
Home,
really
if
bad.
it was. Would that feel as good if Marvel wasn't going down the drain?
Or if you didn't
I-
have all of the other Spider-Man in it.
Right. I think if you took-
without the other Spider-Man, that movie wouldn't have been nearly as good.
Yeah.
It was definitely nostalgia for sure, but
Yeah.
I don't think you discredit that because
No.
it's real, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Batman takes it.
I think so too.
Dark Knight is so good. Joker
Heath Ledger.
carries Batman a little bit there, right? Like,
And we got the new Batman movie, which I actually really like.
which was
so,
really good.
yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's
I like
easy for
seeing
me.
Detective Batman.
So Batman's back in the lead.
Yeah.
Actually, he's 2 ahead
Yeah, it's
with
two
cities
ahead,
and
right?
movies.
Yeah.
All right, so now we get to the one you were just mentioned earlier, teams. So support essentially. So I picked 2 main ones for each. So Batman's got the Justice League, obviously, and he's got the Bat family. So Nightwing, Red Hood, Batgirl, Red Robin, all the other ones. Then Spider-Man
Damian
has
Wayne.
the Avengers, and he's got the Fantastic Four.
Oof. But
Maybe-
now you're
maybe-
getting into
maybe a
Avengers
few other
versus
ones.
Justice League at this point.
Right. Yeah.
I think Justice League blow the Avengers
I
out of
think
the
they
water.
do.
I
Yeah.
think so too.
They have way
Who's
more powerhouses.
Gonna match up against Superman? I think
Yeah.
that's always your biggest question.
Thor has a good chance against Superman.
Because he's mystical,
Yeah.
but that's the problem.
does.
Okay, so,
And he's got
so
the power
say
cosmic
Thor,
pretty recently.
so say Thor takes on Superman, who deals with Wonder Woman, who deals with the Flash. Like the Flash alone is a problem,
Yeah. And Batman.
and Batman. Like I
Right.
think Justice League kind of wipes the floor with the Avengers.
Yeah. Fantastic Four would whip the Bat family for sure.
Yes. Yes.
But
Yeah.
Well, and would you say the Fantastic Four isn't part of the Avengers too?
no, they're their own team. They're never a
They
part
don't
of the
work with
Avengers.
the Avengers.
They work with the Avengers, but they're never a part of the Avengers.
Got it. And then you
but
can.
he becomes
yeah.
he
What is
becomes
that?
part of the Fantastic Four. It's called FF eventually. There's 5 members, and Spider-Man's the newest one. So he actually becomes part of them.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
That one.
plus,
is-
actually, this is okay. I forgot one little minute detail, which is actually pretty big. Franklin Richards,
is
their
like
son,
the most
is
OP
insanely
person
powerful
in comics. Yeah.
I mean, this kid's insane. God level,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
higher than God level.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
kind of influences it a lot.
Okay,
So,
but he's not technically part of the Fantastic Four, so
he
discount
is
him.
actually. So
Eh.
their kids are part of the team. So they got 2 kids. I
I
think
don't
they
know.
might have a third
I-
one, but yeah, I don't know.
That one's tough. Because I do think.
I
that
guess if we're
Justice League
talking
would
more
wipe the floor with
traditional,
Avengers.
We get rid of
Yeah.
the kids.
Yes, I would say think traditional. So I would
Batman
say
would probably
Justice League just because it's bigger than the Fantastic. Like I would say the primary beats the primary. So
Right.
even though the secondary beats the secondary, I think you go with the primary.
I agree.
But I do think Fantastic Four would wipe the floor with the Bat family.
So I mean,
Well,
you got to consider this
I
in
don't
a
know.
fight
It
too.
might be
You
close.
know,
I don't know.
like
It might be
obviously,
close.
if Batman's losing in a fight with Spider-Man, he could easily call in Superman. You know, or any of
Batman would have something to freeze Mr. Fantastic and shatter him. And
yeah, for sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
He
don't know.
deals
I'm
with
saying Batman.
he deals with stretchy people all the time, and we got Plastic Man, we got
The elongated man.
Elongated Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some other ones too. So, yeah, Batman's way ahead at this point. So okay, so that's the last thing I have is who would win a fight. So with prep time, I guess we kind of already talked about that. The spider sense really adds to Spider-Man's thing, but Batman's got the high intellect. So Batman could eventually potentially make a mistake if they were going long enough, and Spider-Man could exploit that with his spider sense then, you know.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. But with the combination of everything else, I think Batman would win in a fight.
yeah, because the key is there. Eventually, Batman would make a mistake, but I think Batman would beat. I think he would beat him before it got to that point.
I also think Batman will do anything to save the world. like everything. He would kill himself if he has to take Spider-Man down if he needed to.
Mhm.
Spider-Man probably might do that, but not as he wouldn't get to that as fast as Batman would.
You know what?
So
What book I listened to? Sorry, you can continue on your
I also
point
had a
too.
couple
I read
other
a.
things. I said
Go ahead. Yeah.
Batman fights with immense pain. He doesn't have a healing factor. He fights with immense pain in pretty much every single story arc he's in. And yeah, I mentioned this earlier, but Spider-Man would go insane trying to work with Gotham's broken justice system, and the corruption.
Mm-hmm.
So I think those alone make Batman have a stronger will. He's more. I think it also adds to more of the sacrifice side of being a hero. Batman is willing to sacrifice his loved ones.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, I forgot I had the Harry Potter books on tape. I'm trying to find. I listened to a Spider-Man book that was really good.
He doesn't have the honor that Spider-Man has, but he's got his moral codes and he sticks to them.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not your typical hero, but I think that ultimately makes him the ultimate hero. So
he doesn't care if anybody likes him.
Right. And that's why he can have a contingency plan for everybody.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think about this. I care about saving the world, and if you go rogue, I need to stop you. Batman trusts people too much, or Spider-Man trusts people too much.
Okay, so the book was called Spider-Man: The Darkest Hours.
Oh yeah.
And it was really good. I don't know if you guys have read it or just heard of it.
I've heard of it, yeah.
It was really so he's married to Mary Jane in it, and he's a high school science teacher, and then he's unexpectedly foiled in attempts to stop Rhino by Black Cat, and the Cat informs Peter is just a distraction. The real threat comes from a group of ancient members of the same race as the being called Morlun, who Spidey defeated in battle years earlier.
I know Morlun.
The ancients are now looking to exact revenge and hope to steal Spider-Man's life force in the process. Really good, and he actually has to end up teaming up with Rhino in it, which was good. It was a fantastic book.
It's an audiobook?
I mean, I think there's an actual book too, but I got the audiobook.
Okay, yeah, because I think they do have novelized versions of comics. I've seen them at Barnes and Noble, and I think I've seen that one. I was telling Nick earlier. I think it is, yeah. Because they novelize
so the
comics
author for it is Jim Butcher, which is the Dresden Files author. I think I've mentioned those before on here. They're really good. It's like a Chicago-based series, and Harry Dresden is like a wizard, and really good, really cool books. Delves a lot in like the Fey courts, like the summer, winter, spring, and fall courts. Or I guess it's it's all four.
Yeah, I guess it's just a book.
But yeah, so that author, and then since I listened to all those books, it popped up as like a recommended because he wrote this Spider-Man book. So I guess. But yeah, it was really good.
I'll have to listen to it then.
And then that's one like where you really get a look at Spider-Man's true power, because that's like peak, 30s Spider-Man. He's in his 30s. He's very experienced. He's in pretty peak physical condition at that point, and it is nuts some of the stuff he does. So, and also while I was scrolling through, I came across Inheritance by Christopher Paolini, and I'm re-downloading it because now I want to listen to that again.
Inheritance?
Never got into those. That's the Aragon.
It's the last book of the Aragon series.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I read the first one and it was pretty cheesy, I thought. But
yeah, the movie was awful.
So are you guys under the same conclusion?
I think Batman wins.
Yeah, I really wanted Spider-Man to put up a bigger fight.
Well, he would.
He would. But I'm just saying.
I don't think like Batman rules or anything.
Well, no, but by a ranking, he won by like 3
Well,
3 categories or something like that. So I thought it'd be a little
yeah.
closer, but
So yeah, it's who's the better hero ultimately. I think hands down Batman.
Mm-hmm.
If we talk about who would win in a fight, it'd be a really close call.
I think
yeah,
it'd be a
it would be
really
very
close 1v1.
But I think, yeah, I think,
Okay, so here's a
it's hard to
question to
say.
kind of spice things up. What do you think the percentage chances we ever get a Marvel DC crossover movie?
It almost did happen, but I think it's. I think it would be more likely to happen in comics than it would in live action, just because of the people in charge of these companies don't give a crap about the content itself. They own like I mean we've been talking about that, right? Like all the people in charge don't know anything about any of this stuff. The girl from Acolyte doesn't know a single thing about Star Wars because she thinks there's never been a woman in Star Wars. None of the people and the people they're hiring know anything about this stuff. So I find it unlikely to happen.
yeah.
That's fair.
And if it does, we probably will be very, very disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Captain Marvel will come save the day.
You would also have to recast a lot of people. Iron
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
Captain America. I'd rather see an animated one. Just make an animated crossover.
Yeah.
That'd
You know what'd be
cool.
really cool is the Amalgaverse. You ever heard of that before?
Mm-mm.
It'd be easy just to bring up images of it. Basically, an amalgamation. You know what that is?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's an amalgamation of Marvel and DC characters. So Batman and Wolverine combine, Green Lantern and Nova, I think, combine. Let's see if I can get some. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Amalgaverse. Here we go. So I think it was called Darkwing or something like that. I'll just zoom in here. So this is Batman and Wolverine. We got Captain America,
Superman and Captain America,
Spider-Man and Robin, Doctor Strange and Doctor Fate, Deadshot and Bullseye, Nightwing and
the Beast.
Yeah, I think it's the Beast. Storm and Wonder Woman.
Thanos and Doctor Doom.
No, it's Doomsday and Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Doctor Doomsday.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Kraven. That's Kraven.
Yeah, Kraven and something else.
And then who's upper right?
That looks like Gambit, maybe? I don't know about
and
DC.
somebody.
I'm trying to find there's other ones. DC, Marvel. I'll just do it. DC, Marvel, there we go. Amalgam characters. Here we go. So there's Darkwing. That looks like Iron Man. Iron Man and Green. I wish I could make this bigger. Or no, open.
Click Control.
Here we go.
Zoom in.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So Iron Man and Green Lantern there. That looks like Hulk and Beast. Cyclops and who would be the Marvel version? I don't know, I can't tell.
Not flat, no.
Um,
That's Bucky and
Cable, maybe?
Yeah, it's Bucky and Cable.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool though.
No,
Robin
that's the same universe.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
I don't know. Oh, Aquaman and it was Namor.
Yeah, the Batman and Wolverine is so awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's pretty dope. I like the Iron Man Green Lantern one too. That one's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Yeah, Dark Claw. That's what it was called. Dark Claw.
That's sick.
Starfire and who's the
X-Force.
Oh,
Doom
it's the
Patrol?
entire Doom Patrol and X-Force, I guess.
Mm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Speed Demon. Ooh, that's cool. So it's Ghost Rider
Ooh.
and Etrigan.
Flash.
Etrigan the
Or
Demon.
no, that's this.
Etrigan the Demon.
Part Ghost Rider and part
Oh,
the
and
Flash.
Flash. Interesting.
Huh.
That's pretty dope.
That is cool. Yeah.
Magneto.
Wait,
and...
go scroll back up. Barry Allen was forced into a deal with the devil, transforming him into a powerful demonic speedster with a talent for rhyme, who worked alongside his sidekick and nephew Wally West, Kid Demon, against forces of Night Spectre.
Oh, that's cool. Nightmare and Spectre. That's cool. I like Spectre a lot. Magneto and
Thanos? No, wait, that's the same.
Scroll down. Oh, that looks like they didn't change that one that much.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Dr. Doomsday? I was right.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't not do Dr. Doomsday. That's
Right.
perfect.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's a cool one. Iron Lantern.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Oh, and it's Hal Jordan,
Sweet.
not Tony Stark.
Mm.
Super Soldier. Yeah. that
Nice.
one's- I mean, you got to combine those two, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
All right, and then Amazon.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
That's a good combo.
Storm and
Yeah.
Wonder Woman. I mean, there's really no main like one woman
Yeah.
Avenger. I guess you could say Captain Marvel, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then Thor and Orion from the New Gods.
Mm.
That makes sense. You got to pick two gods.
I guess so.
And last, Doctor Strange Fate. That's pretty cool. I mean, yeah,
That is cool.
obvious.
Nice.
Pretty dope. Yeah, that was I don't remember if that was a whole series or if it was just one.
Like a one-off.
A one-off thing, but yeah. Can't find it really easily. So, I think they both published it, pretty sure. So. Well, there you have it, guys. Batman wins. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise.
Honestly, I really thought Spider-Man was going to win tonight, but
Yeah.
It would have been interesting because I feel like Tyler was definitely more Spider-Man focused, so it would have been interesting to see some of his counterpoints.
we'll have to have him talk about it next week and
Yeah.
say his thoughts on it. But yeah, so we got some upcoming movies here. So this weekend, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse comes out, or should I say Miles Morales Across the Spider-Verse? Miles Morales is Miles Morales, and Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Yep.
Then next week, June 9th, Transformers Rise of the Beasts is coming out. Looks like it'll probably bomb, but I'm going to
I
probably...
love Transformers. I don't care if
I
it
might
bombs.
enjoy it. And then June 16th, we got The Flash. So those are the next 3 weeks of movies we got going on. So we're back in a movie season again. It's been pretty consistent. Movies pretty much every weekend. So, yeah.
Kind of getting back to pre-pandemic.
Mm-hmm. So next week we will be reviewing Bad Batch Season 2. Then the week after that, Attack on Titan, full review.
Guess you're watching me for the next 2 weeks.
You can join.
We'll see.
So Nathan Dilly and Casey Bender, they will both be joining us for that episode.
The Attack on Titan.
Yes. And then after that, I think we got Fast and Furious at the end of June.
Oh yeah, I really
Uh,
need to catch up on all those.
And that's it. That's it for season 2. So then we'll close it out at the end of June there. So just reviews now for the rest of the season. So
Cool.
there you have it, guys. And then we'll be off for a month and back in August. So
Nice.
Sounds good.
okie dokie. Thanks Dilly for jumping in the chat for a bit and then you just left. I assume the one person on Twitch is Trevor. He's playing Diablo right now. So
how's that been going?
It launched tonight, so I'm not gonna be able to play.
Oh,
it
you
till
haven't played yet.
tomorrow because
Okay.
I got to download the freaking 90 gigs.
Jeez.
So I'm playing that tomorrow night. I will be streaming. So if you want to catch me tomorrow night playing Diablo, I will be doing that. Yeah. And that's about it.
Cool.
So, all right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
Check out socials.
Yes. So our socials. I wish Tyler was here to do the little overlay thingy. There it is. Find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I skipped over that one. We're also on TikTok. Yay. We haven't been posting a lot though. So yes, follow us on our socials. Go join our Discord server, and send us in your questions. Who would you think would win between Batman and Spider-Man?
And why?
And why? What did we talk about last week again? Oh yeah, ranking. Tell us your favorite fandom. Tell us your favorite Star Wars character. Give us your thoughts. We'd love to talk about them. Give us your hate mail. But yeah, so with that, we will catch you next week. Peace.
See ya.